Maxwell was sentenced to 20 years in prison last year for recruiting teenage girls to be abused by the late billionaire. But the documents were related to an earlier lawsuit against her for civil defamation. Among those named in the more than 800 pages yesterday were former presidents Donald Trump and Bill Clinton, though they are not accused of any wrongdoing. Trump's name came up during witness testimony from one Epstein accuser who recalled the sex offender saying he would, quote, call up Trump to visit one of his casinos in New Jersey.
Hey there, guys. Welcome to the channel. Guys, I got some bad news. They got him. They got him, man. The left, after a decade almost in the trenches, they have finally got Donald Trump. And they have proven that he's every bit as bad and every bit as monstrous as they had promised us. We just wouldn't listen, you know. But if you turn on any lefty channel, you'll see that Donald Trump's name appears multiple times in recently released Epstein documents. And unfortunately, that's all you'll hear. You know, of course, this is all going to be fueled by fragile confirmation bias and a literal lifetime spent feeding on propaganda. But unfortunately, that's going to be plenty for millions and millions of their victims to hear. And they're all going to lose their minds, completely lose their minds in just the latest Trump deranged insanity. What they'll never be told, and worse, they'll never seek out, they'll never verify, but what they'll never be told is Donald Trump's name was brought up by the attorneys taking the deposition. They asked, did you ever see Donald Trump? The witness said no. And they said, did you ever massage Donald Trump? Again, they said no. And of course, these lefty lawyers, they were just hoping, begging, pleading that someone had seen Donald Trump. But no one had. Everyone said no. Now, he was mentioned. Yeah, that's true. But is the left going to want to have a conversation about how he was mentioned? No. Anyone who actually knows, they're not going to want to have that conversation. You know, a mention, unfortunately, in today's day and age, the year 2023, is enough. Unless you're Leo, of course. We can't talk about that because, well, that will put the climate at risk, and we got to save the world. But anyway, I want to show you guys, let's have a look at what's really going on. I got a pretty good clip, but first, guys, please be a part of this channel's growth. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and most importantly, share. Take a look at this.
Business and political leaders. The documents about Epstein include depositions, evidence, and the unsealing of names of people he knew. Being on the list, I want to say, is not an indication of any wrongdoing. As you said, perhaps the most notable name belongs to former President Bill Clinton. Mr. Clinton, seen here shaking hands with Epstein in 1993, he's described as a key person who can provide information about his close relationship with Ghislaine Maxwell and Epstein. You can see Ghislaine here in that photo standing behind Epstein. She's now serving 20 years in prison for sex trafficking underage girls for Epstein. She is appealing that conviction. Then there's this from Joanna Solberg. She's one of many women who accused Epstein of abuse. Quote, Joanna testified Jeffrey told her Clinton likes them young, referring to young girls. As for those reported flight logs, well, they do show the former president flew on Epstein's jet to Europe and the States, but not to Epstein's private Caribbean island. That's where authorities say Epstein held those underage sex parties. The only mention of Clinton and the island comes in this page, according to the documents. Quote, Maxwell says, just so we are clear, the allegations that Clinton had a meal on Jeffrey's Island is 100% false. Epstein accuser Joanna Solberg also said that Prince Andrew once jokingly put his hand on her breast for a photo that happened at Epstein's Upper East Side Manhattan mansion. You're seeing a photo here of Prince Andrew. He denied that, by the way. This photo shows another accuser, Virginia Giuffre. She has said that she was forced to have sex with many men by Epstein, including Prince Andrew. He denied that, and the case about that has been settled. And as for former President Trump, well, his name does come up in the papers. You know, he knew Epstein in New York for many years, but cut him off. Reports say that Mr. Trump kicked Epstein out of Mar-a-Lago because Epstein hit on the teenage daughter of another member. That before Epstein was ever charged in the sex cases. Joanna said that she, Epstein, Giuffre, and Maxwell once visited one of Trump's Atlantic City casinos, that in 2001. And in her deposition, Joanna was asked a very direct and blunt question, Sean. Quote, did you ever massage Donald Trump? Her answer was no. Joanna also said that she met Michael Jackson, that at Epstein's Palm Beach mansion. She also said in the depositions that she did not massage him either. Sean?
And there was other mentions of Trump during the deposition. Did you ever see Trump at Jeffrey's home? Not that I can remember. On his island? No, not that I can remember. In New Mexico? No, not that I can remember. In New York? No, not that I can remember. So for those people always looking to go after Donald Trump, we appreciate you being with us. Thanks for that.
Yeah, so you guys see that. I mean, do you guys think it'll ever sink into the left or any of their like truly mushy brain victims just how badly that they've all tricked themselves and allowed themselves to be tricked? I mean, really, when you think about it, what is the end game? Who really benefits when they lie about anything and everything, up to and including the web of child predators, all to exact some sort of political retribution or political damage? I mean, this is truly insane when you think about it. You have two former presidents that were quote unquote mentioned in these documents. Neither of them come with any real proof of anything. I mean, so you can't even really destroy Clinton over it. Just the word of a child predator in passing to one of his victims that Bill Clinton sure likes him young, as he put it. But that's the mention. I mean, that is the mention. Clinton was mentioned in a discussion of his proclivities, alleged proclivities. Trump, on the other hand, mentioned in deposition by an attorney. And in that case, like I said, the Epstein victim said no. Wasn't there, never saw him, never touched him. Yes, both are mentioned, and only one of those mentions are we getting beat over the head with on every lefty channel and in every online echo chamber, whatever you want to call it, which honestly, when you think about it, man, that is pretty remarkable stuff, and people fall for it, which makes it even more remarkable. And the good news is, I think, this game can't continue for much longer. Just like Thatcher on socialism, this game, I think, can't work because eventually the left is going to run out of people who are less intelligent than them. Dumb enough to fool, dumb enough to trick. But, I mean, that's my hope at least. They got to run out of dumb people eventually. But that's all I've got, guys. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. If you haven't already, guys, help us to grow. Like, comment, subscribe. Most importantly, share the channel. We'll see you in the next one.